Welcome back, everybody. It's I with EyeWillPlay. We're going to talk more about Amethyst and all the new terminology that it brings to Minecraft. We have Amethyst Blocks, Amethyst Budding Block, Amethyst Geodes, Amethyst Crystals, Amethyst Clusters. And protecting them are tough blocks and calcite blocks. We can make tinted glass and spyglass. The clusters grow in small, medium, large, and regular full-blown cluster. And what happens with Silk Touch? Fortune 3. Can you use pistons with it? There's a lot to cover here. Let's just get into all of it. Let's go! We're gonna go into spectator mode. Doesn't look like there's anything to check out here until we go underground. Whoa! Check it out. So directly underneath the spawn area here, we do have one. Look at that. How often do we see one of these? I can see another one up ahead towards the top of the screen. That one looks really big compared to the one that we just ran into. Yeah, there's another big one right up ahead. So there's the one that the first one we were at. There's another one up here. And this one's pretty good sized as well. Let's go back to the original. It looks like they're all about the same depth as well inside the world. So I think that's super interesting. Here we are at the entrance of the Amethyst Geode that we saw from spectator mode. There's some copper with the green and orange look. And of course, this is our amethyst. I brought some torches along so we can light this up. So not very many budding blocks. First of all, we have this outer shell that's 1 block deep. And then we have an inner shell before we get to the actual crystals themselves. And this outer shell is called Tuff. T-U-F-F. Kind of a funny name. It's not really very tough. But hey, that's the name. The inner shell from there is calcite. Now, I don't know anything that calcite and tuff do besides their blocks you can build with, and they form the outside 2 or so layers of a protective cover around an amethyst geode. And then inside, we have, of course, these crystals. I showed this previously in a video. When you hit these crystals, or when you place the crystals, they make sound, but they also make sound when you walk on them. It's kind of a very smooth noise. You can hear there's an echo to it. Before it stops. Like chimes, I guess. You know, there's 2 types of blocks in here. You have the amethyst block, which is this block right here. Nothing's coming out of it. It's not forming any crystals. It doesn't have any buds on it. So it is a regular amethyst block. This one, however, is an amethyst budding block. It actually will create buds on it. Now, the cool part about this, I have Silk Touch on this pickaxe, but it's not going to be able to pick up any of the budding blocks, just the regular blocks. Now, the interesting part about the budding blocks is that they will grow buds onto the budding block in any direction around the entire block as long as there's air or water. So let's uncover one of these just a little bit more. Now let's see what this grows. So far, it has 2 fully grown crystals on it. Now you can see the different levels of growth. Obviously, this is a small bud. This looks like your medium bud. This looks like a large bud. Then you have the fully grown cluster. So 3 types of buds from the budding block and then a cluster. Cluster you can mine with Silk Touch, and we got 1 cluster. Now if we mine it with Fortune 3 and not Silk Touch, we got 4 crystals. So this gave us an amethyst cluster with the Silk Touch, and with Fortune 3 we got 4 amethyst shards. Is it 4 shards every time? No, because that time it gave us 16 more shards. So that's pretty random. One time it gave us 4, the next time it gave us 16. Let's break another one. That one gave us 8. And that one gave us 16 again. So, I mean, it's kind of all over the place. 4, 8, 16. Okay, so now if we try a pickaxe without Fortune 3, what do we get? 4. And we got 4 more. So it looks like you get 4 every single time that you use a regular pickaxe. And then Fortune 3 can bring you anywhere from 4 to as many as 16. Now, I've been told it just takes a few minutes in order for some of these budding to begin to grow, which I think is also interesting, is that you can only grow these here inside of these geodes. You cannot grow clusters anywhere else besides these geodes, and clusters are, of course, these growths that give you eventually the crystals. So let's break out. You can see the difference between the blocks. You can see that this block right here, this is your regular amethyst block. And then this block right here is your amethyst budding block. And you can only tell the difference because it looks like there's a little bit of almost a diamond shape that looks like cracks that are a little bit darker. You can see the difference between the two. If we look down at this one as well, it's the same thing. It looks like cracks, some type of a diamond shape that's darker, that's directly on the item itself. Pretty hard to find, but if you do break one of these out with Silk Touch, which is this, you're gonna notice that it goes away. Now it's gone forever, by the way. You cannot take these amethyst budding blocks with you. You can't move them to anywhere in the world. They are just here inside of this geode, and that's the only place where they're gonna stay. You can take the rest of the amethyst blocks with you, but you can't take the budding blocks. So you're not able to grow any of these clusters outside of this geode. However, they will grow inside of the geode, and you can see one's already started to grow on the bottom of that block. All right, so we do have one growing on the bottom of the block, which wasn't there before because it didn't have air on the bottom, but now it does. So now it should be able to grow on all 6 sides instead of just the 2 that were originally open. Just like this one here, only had the one side open to growth. Obviously, if you're gonna make a farm out of this, you're gonna wanna break these out all around them so they now have air, or at least water around them. So they'll be able to grow buds on different areas, eventually turning into crystals. And then obviously this is a farm that will last forever. You find one of these, as long as you don't break all the budding blocks, these amethyst crystals will continue to grow, and you can just come down here, take all the full grown. I would recommend the Fortune 3, obviously. Get all the crystals that you can, and then just give it a little bit of time, but you need to be inside the growing range where things will grow. If you're out of the loading area where this isn't loading continually because you're too far away, obviously these aren't going to grow then. You need to be in an area close enough to them where they're going to grow. And as long as you are, they'll continue to grow, and you'll have yourself an awesome farm where you can farm these crystals literally for eternity. Never-ending, renewable amethyst crystals. Let me put down some of these at different growth periods so you can take a look at them. You can see the small, medium, large, and then just your regular amethyst cluster. Notice the rest of them are all called buds, and then you have your cluster. So there's the 4 stages. So we know we cannot pick up this budding block with Silk Touch or a regular pickaxe. Can we move it with the piston? Let's give it a try. Okay, so I put a sticky piston right behind it, and it broke. You can't move it with the piston. We could try a regular piston, but I know it's going to be the same result. But let's try it anyways. And it broke. So it does not work with pistons. However, the crystals do make some things. So first of all, let's throw down a crafting table so we have that at our use. Now what's interesting is that they actually changed some of the way that things are built. So previously, in the last snapshot, it required more shards in order to make one block. But in this snapshot, what's really cool is you don't even need a crafting table to make a block of amethyst. It only takes 4 blocks. Then the things you are going to be able to make with the amethyst shards, the spyglass, 2 copper with the amethyst shard on top makes a spyglass. Then also put these shards, one in the middle on each side, forming again that diamond shape. Put 1 glass right in the middle, and it will make you 2 tinted glass. Now, the spyglass we've already shown. We can take a look at that creeper up there. You can zoom in. It's got a really cool reflective look to it. They changed this from the previous snapshot, so it'll probably have more changes, but it definitely looks more like glass. For those vanilla users who don't want to use Optifine to be able to have a way to zoom in, then I think tinted glass is really, really cool. First of all, you put a tinted glass down, you can just break it, and it's still there. And that's because it's not like regular glass. This is made with amethyst shards and glass to make a mixture that makes this tinted glass. You do not need Silk Touch in order to pick it back up, which is awesome. For spawner grinder farms, for example, from the outside with the glass on, we would still be able to see the spawner in there because it lights up a little bit. It's going to allow everything to spawn even though there's all these torches directly on the outside. And how does that differ from regular glass? When you're in here with regular glass, look at all the light that's coming through. You can see all the light that's able to penetrate inside of there, which again is not the case. You can see it darkening up with the tinted glass. So cool. And those of you that were wondering, we are on the Y level of 12. So it looks like that this grows somewhere around 11, 12 on the Y and goes up to around, depending on the size of the geode that you run into, around 20. So 11, 12 up to about 20. Let's confirm that with the other geode that we just saw. This one looks like it might actually be a block lower. This one is. This one's at 10 and it goes to 19. So that's where you're going to want to look for these geodes. So that's everything you need to know about the amethyst geodes, shards, crystals, budding blocks, etc. If you have any questions, please put those in the comments below. I hope this helps you understand the really cool things that they're putting into this 1.17 update that's coming in the summer of 2021. In the meantime, if you want any more information about this update, just let me know. I'm more than happy to make more videos on it. I think I've covered a lot of what most people wanted to have covered. Please like this video so more people can see it. Please subscribe if you've not subscribed already. And of course, take it easy, everybody. And I will see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye!